Hello. This video. Hello again. I'm sorry. The introduction was crap. I've been up all night and I gotta get so many videos done. Cause it takes my phone to upload a long time and then I gotta edit it and then I gotta finish this PowerPoint presentation for my husband to survive while I'm away at basic training and tech school. Now this video is about visiting a recruiter. I had two recruiters. For this process. My first recruiter, he was really awesome. He had been in about as long as I've been born. Shoot, I'm gonna try to not y'all to death. So he was really cool. He took me to all my appointments at MEPS and whatnot. Because we didn't take a shuttle, I guess. I don't know why. But they were closing that office down and he was leaving out of the country for his deployment. So I got put on frozen status and switched over to my new recruiter. I'm gonna call him Joneses. It's not his name, but Tech Sergeant Joneses was very welcoming. He's very honest with things and very forthcoming. So I had to go an hour away, but it was kind of like the same option when it closed down in my city because there weren't a lot of people coming in, so it was being moved to another city. There was already a Armed Forces Recruiting Center and Air Force office in that city, but since nobody was really coming out here, because it is kind of I live in a small town. It ain't big. I live in a small town, so since there weren't that many people going to the Air Force Recruiting Office, they closed that one down and they only have it open for some DEPCC meetings. Most exciting thing I've been to that shows this is getting real. So it would have taken me about an hour and a half with traffic to get all the way there, and it would have only taken me 45 minutes, maybe 50 minutes, an hour at the latest, depending on traffic, to get down to my new recruiters, Tech Sergeant Joneses. So when I first went to my first tech sergeant, my first recruiter, I'm going to call him Tech Sergeant Bill. When I went to Tech Sergeant Bill, I have a lot of questions usually. I always have unorthodox questions as well. So I went in there and I asked every question I had that popped up in my head, and I decided that, this branch was for me. It was kind of hard because they had so many addresses for that one recruiting center, so it was kind of hard to find anyways. But I had a lot of questions like, okay, basic training, can you tell me about that? How many weeks is it? How many weeks did it used to be? Why did it extend the time? What are they learning now? How long is the tech school? What jobs do you have available? What jobs would I qualify for? I was already in the process of getting my JED, so it wasn't that hard. Ask when you go to your recruiter's office. Ask a lot of questions. Any question you have in your head. I'm pretty sure, like, my recruiter had been there 20 years, so I'm pretty sure there's nothing he hasn't heard. And if you need to ask him something female, they give you someone female to talk to about that aspect. Like when it comes to MEPS, what underwear can I wear? I didn't know. So they weighed me. I hated that crap. I was like, I'm 5'6.5" now. I used to be 5'8", but then I had my son and I went to 5'7", and then I had my daughter, which I gained 90 pounds, and after I had her, it turns out I'm now 5'6.5". So I went from 5'6" to 5'6.5". Lost an inch and a half having two kids. I don't want to shrink anymore. And I was 156 pounds. My maximum allowable weight, if they round up, because I'm at the half mark, is 170 pounds. Ooh, that's a bug. It's 170 pounds. Now if they round it down to me just being 5'6", it's 165 pounds. And he's like, "Whoa, you're 156." And I think I was like 10 pounds under him, which really bugged me because my husband stepped on the scale too, and I wasn't much from under him either for just having a baby. And he measured my height, he took my weight. I took my little pre-ASVAB test on that computer. I didn't get the score I wanted, so he let me take a break and then try again. So I did try again, and I got the score I needed, and I took home like a packet about this thick. If you've already enlisted, you know what packet I'm talking about, where you need all that information for, the background check and everything. And I took my fingerprints, and I paid the money to the Federal Bureau of Investigation and got my own background check for myself, so I knew I could answer honestly. But I got my thick packet. I filled out my first paperwork. Now, I read everything I sign. So we sat there a while, me reading over everything, and then I would ask questions that were in that papers, and I had him correct some stuff, because that's what you need to do. And he told me I'm like the first person that's done that in a long time, because he said one person, got put as a female but was clearly a male, and they had to go through and fix all that paperwork. And I was like, well, yeah, you gotta read stuff, Then we organized a date for me to take my ASVAB. I was tired as sin, but I went to go take it. I didn't want to take the shuttle because I couldn't process yet. I had to get my GED first, so I didn't want to take the shuttle down there. So he just took me and another person down there who had to do testing for pararescue, I guess. Yeah, like a physical test for that. I love Luke Bryan. So that's basically my first visit to my recruiter. Sorry, my thing keeps popping up. Let's see, what else can I cover that people cover in recruiter videos? Do take your shoes off. And do work when... Take that test seriously. Because that's when they're kind of like, oh, well, come back when you can score higher on this. And you're like, shit. So ask any questions you have. Please ask your recruiter. That's what they're there for. They're trained. I know for a fact my recruiters never lied to me. They came. I told them, be honest with me. I can take it. So then I got my second recruiter. I was put in frozen status because Tech Sergeant Bill was going, and I was going to Tech Sergeant Jones's, and I had to wait for me to get unfrozen and continue my process. But the crappy part about that was, like, at the end of the year, I finally passed the ASVAB and got the score I needed, and I got approved to go in with the GED and my score. And then they were like, okay, 3 cycles or 6 months after having a child, and it was the either or. And then after they came back from the Donza for the new year, he's like, okay, I got bad news, Ken. You have to wait until the 28th of January. And then I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Because I had got my appointment to go to MEPS and everything that first week of January. And all the plans got thrown out the door when the rules changed. And I was like, what the crap? And so I got switched over to my recruiter, and he was on TDY, so I had to wait till February. And it was that process of switching recruiters, it ain't no joke. You gotta take that seriously. It was kind of an adventure because I had to wait all that time, and by the time I was ready, my recruiter had to do what he had to do. So I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And I had my questions for him as well from a different aspect because it's in a different state. I have to go to a different state to go to my recruiter, and then to go to MEPS, I have to go to a different state. It's really weird. So that was pretty intense with the whole freezing. And then, I had to get an FED waiver, and I had to write everything. That FED waiver has a video of its own. It deserves, because for those who are older going in and you have, like, financial stuff going on that's not college, I have no Adam's apple. I'm not a man. I will give you some advice on the FED waiver because I have experienced it, and you don't see a lot of videos highlighting the problems that have popped up in enlistment. And this is what I'm here for, because I've had quite a few problems. I've been waiting since January 28th. 6 months from the start of me first signing my first paperwork. 9 months. No. So I've been going at this for a while. Now, when you do get a recruiter, don't slack off and think that they're just supposed to handle everything on their own. You need to put in work too. You need to show them that you got what it takes. You need to show them that you're taking this seriously. That's what I did, because I believe my recruiter told me that they have to log every time you contact them, and I made sure I got on their nerves. I called every couple days to see where my waiver was at. I called every couple days about see when I'm going to MEPS and whatnot. I stayed on there. I stayed interested. And I think that's a good thing, because you don't want to leave it up to a recruiter, because one thing about recruiters you got to understand, you ain't the only one that wants to go in. They have to handle other things, and they have other assignments, and they have families of their own, so sometimes they can forget. And you can't get mad at something if you don't remind them. Say you sign a paperwork and you need to get another one, and you don't hear from them for 3 weeks. That's partially your fault, because you need to call and ask, hey, what's going on? Why haven't I got this paper when I was supposed to get it then? Because, some recruiters have to take their recruits to MEPS. And I know in certain areas of MEPS you can't use your phone. So you have to be also forgiving of that. But the military doesn't need you. They have thousands and thousands of people who are already working there. They want someone who's going to work hard and show that they deserve to be let in. And that's what I did. I'm not trying to talk down on y'all or anything like that, but I'm just saying, don't let your recruiter just do all the work, because they already have so much pressure with other recruits trying to get them in. So how about you do your part and don't just say, okay, I want to join the military and we'll sign this paperwork. Set me up for MEPS, and then that's it. And then you're just going to go on doing whatever it is you want to do. You catch my drift? So when you talk to a recruiter, you can go to airforce.com and find out where your recruiter's at, because I know a lot of people see these videos and you're not in Texas. But that's my advice, and that's my little take on it, on my visitation with my recruiter, and a couple tidbits I threw in there for y'all. If you're going to see a recruiter in the first place, you're making a great decision. It's discipline, it's job stability, it's protecting your country, it's true act of patriotism, especially in these bad times that we're having, y'all. So I'm going to click this little red button where my finger's at. There's a red button here, and it's going to stop this video, and I'm going to press it, and I'm going to see you beautiful people next video.